People abroad tell us that everywhere you go, the central figures in education are alumni of our yeshiva.
I had the privilege to study in Yeshivat Etzion in 1975-1976. The yeshiva was just a few years old, but already had made a name for itself as a leading yeshiva with the highest standards of learning. When I began yeshiva, two incidents with Rav Lichtenstein made a lasting impression, which highlighted to me the midos side of the yeshiva in general, and of Rav Lichtenstein in particular. When I went to take my bechina with Rav Lichtenstein, he tested me on a sugya at the beginning of Masechet Sanhedrin, specifically a Rambam that I apparently misunderstood. Rav Aaron proceeded to ask me another 10 questions or so until I understood by myself my mistake. This, without a word of reproach, but rather a smile when he saw that I understood my mistake. This was, and still remains in my mind, classic chinuch. Shortly thereafter, when I began learning in the yeshiva, I was waiting online in the cafeteria, and in the process of filling up my tray, I dropped it on the floor with all of its contents. Out of nowhere, Rav Lichtenstein was down on his hands and knees picking up each item of food. Once again, no less a lesson in chinuch, by sparing me much embarrassment and showing me that what makes a great person is the way he treats a new 17-year-old Talmud.
In my mind, it is such a far-gone conclusion that Gush is the place that I find it difficult to make an effective argument. How do I describe the fun, just the fun, that we had learning all day to someone who's never experienced anything like that?
Hi, my name is Ben Jirek, and I came to Yeshiva in 1996, and I'm back again 10 years later. I initially spent 2 years learning in Yeshiva, and then out of the blue, I was approached to go on the Etzion program to South Africa, to Cape Town. I spent a year in South Africa. I then returned to the Yeshiva for Shana Daled, it would be, and then again, out of the blue, I was offered to go to Norway, and I went off to Norway for 4 months to be with the Rav there, who happened to be a Bulgarian of the Yeshiva, Rabbi Rappaport. What I think attracted me to the Yeshiva initially was their open attitude to the students. They didn't come around and pat you on the back and push you to do anything. They allowed each student to develop and to grow as they wanted to. Which definitely Shabbat Zachar and the Tish with the Rav Amital, seeing the whole yeshiva together. Boys that ordinarily would not necessarily have spoken or interacted with each other throughout the normal course of the year sat together for hours, singing, laughing, joking, dancing with Rav Amital. Almost 9 years later, after my initial Shabbat Zachar experience, when my brother was in the yeshiva, my son was quite unwell, and at that Tish they made a mishbeach for my son, and we're convinced that that Friday night was when his health got better, and that led to him coming out of hospital.
First got to Yeshivat Etzion when I was 16 years old. Being in the yeshiva atmosphere, the ruach of Shabbos, the chevra, everyone working together towards the same goals. I'm once again part of the yeshiva family, teaching night seder to the Shana Bet Chutznikim in the yeshiva.
I'm privileged to be the principal of the Weinbaum Yeshiva High School of Boca Raton, Florida. So, every time I prepare a piece of Gemara, every time I prepare for Torah, a shir, the influence of the yeshiva, the stamp the yeshiva had on my thinking is evident. An important part of my responsibilities as Yeshiva High School principal is to counsel students about yeshiva choices in Israel. To do so, I travel every year or two to see all the boys yeshiva in Israel, to sit in our classes and speak to the students. Okay. 3 of the things that make Yeshiva Har Etzion unique amongst the choices that are presented to a senior in high school are the tools that Gush teaches, are the worldview, the broad and balanced worldview that Gush has to offer, and the great people that Gush can expose you to. Etzion offers tools like no other school, not only in terms of what books to turn to and what questions to ask, but how to answer them.
In terms of the friends and the Rabbanim, and also the people of Alon Shvut, of the Yishuv, and able to maintain a connection with those people for many years after having been with them in yeshiva. We only properly appreciate what we've gained from yeshiva once we've left yeshiva. And the values and the morals that I picked up while I was at yeshiva are with me every day in my life. They're with me whether I'm at home, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm in school, whether I'm with friends. The lessons that I've learned from yeshiva go with me everywhere that I go.